Let's talk to our friend Tyrus, regular on Gutfeld, Fox News contributor. Tyrus, thanks for being on with us today. We appreciate it. I want to know everything you think about these protests because it's really a sight to see.
Before we start, your potty mouth,
your
use of the word garbage, I am shocked. You are a mother, a professional woman.
I use the nice word.
You don't work blue. You don't work blue. You're better than that. Don't let them change you. We don't need a foul mouth. Okay? That's first of all.
Okay.
Let me have the foul mouth. Let me tell you about these Okay, let me stop.
Yeah, okay. Brad, over by the button. Brad, go by the button.
Yeah.
You get one,
No.
Tyrus.
No, you get one.
Don't use it.
Here's the thing. The only issue I have is that when the police were pulling down the boards, I was like, no, get more. Build it up.
Yeah.
Then dig trench, fill it with water, put my alligators in, as I suggested with the border.
Alligators!
My ideas.
Yes! Did you see the story where there's an alligator in the Rio Grande?
I have a video to show you.
Did you put it there?
What happened at the house last weekend. We're going to exchange some pleasantries till we get into ugliness. Where my stepson we had an injured alligator in our trench. And he said to me, well, I'm going to catch it. She had fishing line wrapped around her back leg, and she had lost the foot, but she was dragging the fishing line everywhere. So he made a rope out of some string, and he put it around her snout and I was like, okay, bro. And he said, I said, how big is it? He's like, oh, it's not that big. She was about 6 feet. And he wrestled the ground, and he did his impersonation of Crocodile Hunter. And I will just tell you that the crocodile would be very proud if he was there. And he did it, and he used electrical tape, and he brought it up to me, and he's like, can we keep her? And I was like, no, we cannot. We don't have a bin big enough for it, but we cut her, got the fishing string off her and sent her on her way. But I was very happy for that moment. But now we can get into the ugliness.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Your language just threw me off. I had to get it back center.
I'm sorry, I'm mad. I'm going to take over a building later.
I can tell. I hope the sponsors will forgive you.
They will.
Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Don Rickles lately.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing that bothers me the most about this. They're not protesters. We had Hamas terrorists on campus boxing themselves in. We should have had them arrested and taken to Guantanamo and then offered exchanges for our American hostages and Israel hostages over in Palestine right now. I don't understand why we're treating them and the police officers did a phenomenal job. I was watching, there was two young women in Wisconsin, and I was watching them as these protesters were running their mouth, and I said, they're about to go. It's about, and she's going to put him on his behind. And they're spitting and they're calling all these names, and these officers were just stoic and did their job, and they still were concerned with their safety. But the other side was not. I don't understand why we're calling them anything else but terrorists. The social rights movement and protest, they didn't spray paint and destroy buildings.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't set up encampments and demand vegan. What?
It's not even good food. You're going to make demands. Make it worth it.
I would have thrown a can of beans over there and be like, figure it out.
Somebody's going to compromise some values. Let's see which ones go first.
And the kind with the big fat pieces of bacon in it. How bad you
smell
want
it. Take it in. Oh man, Tyrus is with us right now. I feel like we 4 years ago, George Floyd, summer of love, mostly peaceful protests all over the country. That felt very different to this. And
but even that was grotesquely. There's no such thing as mostly peaceful.
Yeah.
They were looting, they're burning. We're still looking for the murderers, for the older gentleman in St. Louis, the officer, or was that Los Angeles? I'm sorry. That was trying to stop people from robbing. So again, none of those fall under what I would consider.
Officer Dorn was here.
Yes.
That was very close to where we are right now.
Yeah. That throws out the ballgame. It was opportunist. That was their first dry run at the Antifas and these professional anarchists and and basically, they indoctrinate these dumb kids, and they're dumb. Like, they don't need to be in college. Like, they're
Useful idiots.
but they need the real life consequences. The ones who are volunteering, like the police officers gave them an opportunity to leave. And like, no, I got to be arrested because I want to be seen arrested. They wouldn't be doing that if they were looking at 3 to 6.
Yeah. Consequences.
For domestic terrorism. Okay? Again, I am Hamas. If there was a Nazi encampment setting up shop at Columbia, do you think they would have got 110 up? No. They wouldn't have. And every one of them would have been tried. It would have been January 6 times 10. Well, this should be January 6 in terms of making every one of those people involved should be arrested. You are claiming responsibility for the deaths, the murders, the rape of thousands of people, let alone we have American hostages that I don't even want to say what it probably is online because there could be family or friends listening, and we don't hear about them.
Yeah, it's not even a topic of
conversation. How does that feel? Just think about if you are a serviceman or a family of a serviceman who's out in this country trying to keep everyone safe all over abroad, and we have them in here, and they're calling them sympathizers and pro. No, they're terrorists. They're telling you, and they're using pepper spray, violence on police officers and students. How long before what are they missing? What is the difference between a terrorist, a Hamas soldier, and the ones we have right now? They have guns, opportunity, and they're open with it. They're doing the same thing here in America, and we're giving them a break because they vote left. This is ridiculous, and they're not. This is just ridiculous. The police are doing a phenomenal job, but how many times can you take getting spit on?
Yeah.
How many times can you take getting stuff thrown at your face? And they don't have any respect. They're throwing everything you can possibly think of. These encampments were disgusting. Yeah. These weren't people that were trying to get everyone aware of the cause. They thought they were going to live there for the summer. Tents, coolers, and then you need to bring us food and water. What world do they live in?
Yeah, it's not reality. It's not the one the rest of us who have to have jobs to feed our families live in.
It's like they must really, one, hate their parents, and two, they've lived in a no consequences world. And this is a great learning environment, a great life lesson to where when they sit in jail for, even put them in there for 90 days.
9 days.
90. No. They need to learn.
Yeah. But I don't know that they'd be crying pretty fast.
This is domestic terrorism. Yeah. They're ripping down the American flag and putting up the Palestinian flag. That's called an invasion. Like, what are we doing here? Like, if Mexico did that, or again, if the Nazi flag went up, again, how long would that Nazi flag be waving before it was done?
Yeah, no joke.
We're being played for fools by this administration. This is the National Guard should have already been involved. We shouldn't put all this on our police, men and women in the blue. They're not underpaid, underappreciated as it is. And on top of it, you have the White House, and he can't even read his blanket. Oh, we don't want anyone to feel threatened, and we don't want. I'm saying I don't care the consequences. We have our commander in chief is a coward, and he's a forgetful coward at that, which makes it even worse. So he continues his cowardness on repeat mode.
Yeah.
And I really hope the American people look at every person, Senate, House, that supported this stuff, and get to vote them out.
Yeah, it's good that we have an election this year, but I think that a lot of this is happening because we have an election this year. Tyrus, before I let you go, I have to remind you that the Boston Red Sox are a game and a half out of first place. They have won 7 of the last 10, and they are 4 games ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Listen.
You a believer?
Let me explain this to you. All right? You and your little crew over there.
It's real spicy today.
Yeah, I'm fired up. I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. You're managing expectations. You're not living in the moment, Tyrus.
Look at the worst case. Look at the worst case scenario. Let's say I'm wrong, okay? And I wear your little soiree St. Louis Cardinals hat, which the Red Sox have traded a plethora of players over there. So I feel like I'm part of the system, anyways.
You have a buy-in.
My Red Sox are in first place. That's a win-win for me. Or I cover myself, and you say, "Wow, they were terrible." Told you. Either way, I'm winning. This is what happens when you deal with a Boston sports fan.
I know. We'll remind you each week. All right, Tyrus, I got to go. Tommy Laren is on the show with us next, and I think she's.
Oh, I got bumped. I get it.
No. But I got to do what I got to do to take care of all my people. And Tyrus, we always appreciate you each week.
Which is completely garbage, pardon my friend.
Garbage. Yeah, it's the nasty word I used today.
Yeah.
Tyrus, we'll talk to you again next week. Go Cardinals.
All right.
Bye. I'm going to hang up on before he says anything about the Red Sox.